everybody, welcome back to my channel and to today's video where we are going to be doing a first impressions look with the new Urban Decay Naked Wild West palette. This just came out about a week or so ago. So I'm going to go ahead and open her up, do some swatches and attempt a look. So if that sounds interesting, please keep watching. So hello everyone, welcome back. For those of you who are new, and there's quite a few of you, so hello, I'm Carolyn. Welcome to my little makeup thing here on YouTube. Sometimes I don't even know what exactly we're doing here, but we're doing it and we're keeping going as best we can. So this is what the palette looks like. Apologies for the high reflect happening there. It is a very shiny packaging. So I think it looks just super cool from the outside. It has this kind of snaky skin kind of vibe going on. I will say, I'd hoped this was textured. It is not. It is like an underneath. So this is all just shiny, flat. The naked bit here is embossed, so this is raised up, but there's no texture from the snaky print. So I'm not saying they had to do that. I'm just saying I would have enjoyed touching that. So let's go ahead and open her up. We'll just pop out. It comes with a little brush. So I'm sure you guys have all already seen this. All right, so this is what she looks like. So it's a half, 3/4 neutral with 2 pops of like a teal shimmer and a dark teal matte. So kind of looking at this and thinking about some of the other products that they've done. So this past year, so let's say late 2019 and 2020, I reviewed 4 palettes from Urban Decay. I did the Honey palette, which I liked. I thought that was actually a really good, nice one. I did the Wired palette, which was a car crash. We all know that. I did the Ultraviolet, which I enjoyed, but I have decluttered it because I really wasn't using it. And then the Stoned Vibes, which is cool. Like, it was cool. It's just not the most exciting thing, like absolutely ever. So this first impression, me looking at it here, it's not the most exciting. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 light mattes. Again, in this one, there are kind of 3 darker mattes. There's more mattes in this one than in a lot of their other more recent palettes, which have been more shimmer focused, so I like that. The shimmers are Hold'em, Cowboy Rick, Bud, and Rustler here, and all the rest are mattes. So this is kind of fun. I will say, as it's like a Wild West theme, and just to give you guys a little into my life, little tidbit there. I grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and so that is like really like that, you know, Texas, Arizona, kind of in Colorado is like Wild West, like old, you know, what used to be the Wild West. And I can say that yes, this color palette does kind of suit that, but this is so kind of desaturated that it's a bit surprising. Like, this really should have like a more bright mustardy yellow kind of color in it and more of like an even redder kind of terracotta compared to these. So I think they could have been more bold with the color choice right off the bat, but the main purpose of this is to actually give these shadows a go, see how they work out, and go from there. So I'll go ahead and put swatches up here for you, and I will entertain you with reading the back of the box. We're known for trailblazing new territory, but the West is nearest to our hearts. Stir up some trouble with a Naked Wild West eyeshadow palette. A dreamy lineup of 12 desert hues shade inspired by endless sand dunes, evergreen succulents, and glittering night skies. Like the climate's wildly extreme temperatures, our palette includes both sizzling warm and ultra cool looking tones. And then there are some mattes and some shimmers, and yeah. They say it is the best in the West. Okay, we're gonna see. So I've decided just to do one look today for my first impression. I'm gonna kind of use this off camera throughout the week, and then at the end of February, I'm gonna start doing a review roundup kind of video of going through products after I've tried them once on camera, and then come back and tell you whether I actually like them or not. So I will come back to you on this particular palette. So we're just going to do one look for today. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in. If my eyes look slightly different already, is I am trying out 2 different eye primers. I'm going to be coming back really soon with an updated primer video for you guys, but this is the Revolution Ultimate Eye Base, on this side, and this is is this the Beauty Bay one? Yeah, the Beauty Bay eye base on this side. So just in case you're curious, these are the two that I am playing with today. So I've done the rest of my face, so fingers crossed for minimal fallout today. And yeah, come on in, come zoom in. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Let me just kind of sweep the hair out of my eyes. I'm still trying to work on precisely where to put the camera and the camera angles right now. I'm still getting used to this new setup, so. All right, my temptation, of course, is to just go in with this green shade and be like, yay, green. But I'm actually not going to. I'm gonna do something that's more on the terracotta brown side here and try and use a little bit of the lighter colors as well. And then we will try this shimmer, Bud, and maybe also this other shimmer, Hold'em or Cowboy Rick. So we'll kind of do like the more turquoisey color out here and then the more kind of gold or silvery color in there. So I think we're gonna start with nude. I like to start with kind of a more basic mid-tone to light color in my crease, just to get everything going. I am aware that this was in the focus for the most part of last video, so I'm going to make sure that it is off camera for this one. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my hand mirror. So I'm just going to start with a fluffy brush. This is a ColourPop E2 brush. So I'm going into Nudie, which is just kind of a fleshy, pale fleshy colored. It's probably gonna, here, let me just get these creases out here. It's probably just gonna look mostly like my eyes. I am gonna be trying to do both at the same time, so if I lose track of what I'm doing, you guys will have to remind me. Tell me, Carolyn, go back into the green or go back into whatever color. So yeah, so I figured we could do a little, I don't wanna say story time, but you know, I could just sit here and tell you about, oh, it's a cream colored matte, it blends nice, or not. But we could also just talk about growing up in the Southwest and how this color story is really on the more mild side. Because for any of you guys who've been to the United States Southwest, you know the colors are absolutely crazy out there. Because in Albuquerque, where I grew up, it's about 1 mile above sea level. Like the city is about a mile above sea level, so it's really thin, the air. And because of that, the skies are just so intense, like so crisp, and you can just see for hundreds and hundreds of miles. It's actually quite remarkable sometimes how far into the distance you can see. And I think for me, living in England, that's one of the things that I really miss, is being able to actually see out into the distance. Because the views here, of course I can see a few miles. You know, I'm on the top floor of an apartment complex right here, so I have a little bit of a view, but it's not anything like, I don't know, kind of intense or amazing. I mean, when I say a view, I mean from the house where I lived in Albuquerque, you could see 100 miles. You know, it's quite different than seeing a couple miles down the road. Okay, so that was Nudie, and I think that went on really well. It is a really nice kind of light flesh colored matte. So we're gonna go ahead and go in with Ghost Town, which is this more kind of terracotta. Can we get that in focus? There you go. A more terracotta color on a slightly smaller brush. And we're gonna put that in the crease and then kind of blend it into that other color. And then we're gonna come in again with a darker color afterwards. So for me, like Southwestern colors are actually like the sunset and like really intense teals and, you know, like obviously turquoise is an important stone in the Southwest, so the fact that they had those in here I think is good. I accidentally popped it up a little bit too high, so I'm just going back in with Nudie just to try and fix that a little bit. That is completely my mistake. And what am I saying? So I like the teals, and I think the warm browns really do work. But I do think they could have gone for a little bit more vibrancy, especially with those lighter colors, because like this one, which is like Standoff, is like almost a bone, like a white bone. Can you see that? Sorry. Like this one, it's just like a bone kind of color. What the hell? Sorry, what's the purpose of something like that? It's really boring. Everyone has that kind of color somewhere in their collection, when they could have done like a really incredible mustard color. So not that I'm completely happy with this other palette, but like the sandstone one that ColourPop did, I think that color palette with like a pop of like a couple pops of teal would have been better, because it had those vibrant yellows and the reds in there as well. So I'm not I'm not trying to be harsh and it might come off that way. I'm just saying, like, I think a couple of the colors could have been switched out and it would have made more sense with like a Southwest, Wild West kind of theme, personally, okay? Obviously, these are all my own opinions. You can dislike this if you fancy. It's just my opinion about it. Because I will say, actually, these shadows are working out really nice. Okay, so that is, what did I do? I did Nudie and then Ghost Town. We'll come back and kind of clean up a little bit, but I'm going to try and actually bring it underneath today. Since I have already done my foundation, everything under, I don't want to like have to do too much cleaning on the side. We're actually going to take that same brush and just go into Whiskey, which is just a little bit darker, just here, and just kind of try and bring it up like that, like in that kind of cat shape. I'm being conscious not to go too far down. If I do, then we'll have to do a full under eye thing. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know I usually don't do that underneath the eye because I'm gonna cry it off in like an hour. I just have really watery eyes, so anything underneath the lash line, just forget about it. I am gonna try and put an eyeliner there today, but we will see. So there's very little difference between those two colors there. Sorry, I really gotta... I've realized with putting the mirror so close, I'm extremely blind with this eye. So if I have to do this eye and this is closed, I really have to be like almost here with the thing. So sorry if it's in the shot a little bit. I'm trying. All right, I'm just taking a little bit of Nudie again right here just to help buff this. I always do worse on my left eye than I do on my right. The right always looks much nicer. And I think that is to do with my vision problem. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, you know, when you're almost blind in one eye, it does make it a little bit more difficult to to do your makeup on the opposite side. So, all right, so that's the first three mattes down, and I have no fallout at all. Very little kick up in the pan either. So there's literally nothing here. So I'm really extremely happy about that. So we're gonna start going into the shimmers now. Did I bring a flat brush? Okay, so I just have like a little paddle brush like this, and we're gonna go into Bud. I am going to use a little bit of setting spray though, because since we've been successful so far without the fallout, I would prefer that we continue with that. So I'm just putting a little bit on the brush. It's not too foiled looking. I'll put a little bit more on, and I will just give it a quick spray. Okay, and we're gonna be working kind of in like here, like just do like a little line kind of to delineate where this one's gonna go, and then back like that. Since the brush is already wet, I'm just gonna go back into that and layer that on top. And we're gonna come back in and see, even with that, I got fallout right there. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna come with the brush in a moment. So definitely spray your brush or something with that in order to keep it from falling down on your cheek. Let me just go ahead and see if I can get this to... Yeah, it was pretty chunky, so it kind of came off right away. Let me go ahead and do the other side. Let me see if I can pick some of this up. It's not quite as foiled looking as I'd hoped that we would be able to make it. It's a little bit more of like a subtle shimmer, so I'm curious to see how the other ones are, if they're gonna be like the same or whether they're gonna be more intense. But I think after this, you know, we're gonna have tried 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 colors. So I think we're gonna have like a good like feel for what the palette is like initially. So let's look at the other 2 shimmers that we have. So we have Cowboy Rick, which is almost like a white shimmer, and then this one is Hold'em. So I think we're definitely gonna go in with Hold'em because that other Cowboy Rick one does not look particularly attractive personally. I'm gonna try it off camera another day, but not that excited about it. All right, so this one is definitely more flaky. This is Hold'em. So I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a little bit more shimmery as well, I hope. Let's go ahead and, Yeah, so this one's more like a normal kind of flaky shimmer dude. Just cover these both like this, try and blend them. What I might do, just gonna see if it lays better without it being wet. Not particularly about the same. I'm gonna go in with my finger and try and see if we can, yeah, that's better. It's just really like, up close it looks kind of okay shimmer wise, but like from far away it looks like there's hardly anything there. All right, let me go ahead and tidy up this bit right here with that little bit of brown. So we're going back in with Whiskey to try and cover this little mess I made, and also to really deepen the outer corner and give a little bit of like a going in. Do you see how it's like angled slightly there? And let's try the same over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some eyeliner. And then we will come back. I'll do some eyeliner and I'll do some mascara. We'll come back and kind of zoom out a little bit and see how this whole shebang will look. I'm going to use some of this LA Girl Shockwave Neon Liner in the color Fresh, which I thought would kind of work with this, you know, kind of adding that little bit of teal. So I'll put that in the waterline, and yeah, so I will come back in a moment and we will be zoomed out and we will look at the final look. I'll also put on a lipstick. So be right back. All right guys, so this is the final look. I'll put my glasses on here in a minute, but I just wanted you all to be able to see how it looked. I put a bit of the ABH Iced Out in my inner corner because it's my favorite for that right now. But, oh, and on my lips is the Natasha Denona Need a Nude in 10NB Andrea, which is kind of this almost no lip look for me. It might need a lip liner. I just wanted to give it a go. And then I did, as I said, I put a little bit of this in the waterline. I don't think you can really, maybe you can see it a little bit. I don't know. Okay, so now the glasses, and now I can actually see how it does look. All right, so I actually think this looks beautiful. I think it looks really pretty. The browns, the mattes in here blended out like a dream. They were so nice to work with, and I think if I wasn't so like precious about messing up the rest of my makeup, I would have been able to make the outer corner even darker. So I think the next look I'm going to really try the matte teal and kind of see what that looks like. So I'm excited to do that. The only thing that I'm a little bit disappointed in is in the shimmers, which are a little bit on the wah-wah kind of side. They're nice and I think they look really pretty, but they are not like intense shimmer foiled liquid gold kind of looking. They're very much on the subtle side, and I'm actually a bit worried about that Cowboy Rick color. Let me see if I can pick some up on a brush or anything, because it almost felt like it was immediately going to get like a hard pan or something. There's almost, I don't know, sorry, I was also practicing with other stuff. It's here. There's almost nothing in it. So that color concerns me slightly. I'm not sure how nice that's actually going to be to work with. Maybe it can go on top of something else. So maybe I could try it like on top of text, which is that deep green teal color or something. So if you like the mattes in this palette, I would say this is probably really good for you. If you are going for the 4 shimmers, they're okay, but personally, I think I would probably have to pull shimmers from other palettes to complement this one. But as I said, I'm going to reserve my final judgment until kind of later on, once I've tried it for a few more times, how to go with it. But the actual application went really smooth. I mean, we just did this all in real time, guys. There was no fast forwarding. It's all pretty easy to deal with. And I keep on looking at it. I think it, like, I'm looking in the mirror down here and I think it looks really nice actually. So at this stage, I'm like out of 100% happy. I'm like 75% happy. And it is because I think those shimmers could use a bit of a boost. Maybe if I try them on a glitter glue next time, you know, there's lots of different ways to kind of still play with it before you make like a final, oh, I don't like this decision. So I think that's where we're gonna end this on. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, you would hit the like button down below. Button, not button, apparently. You could subscribe, come hang out with me again. I will have more videos up this week. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a really lovely day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.